see the video of Addie? That was back when she was about, what, 5 years old or so. Addie tomorrow is turning 12 years of age. I think it's only appropriate that we sing her happy birthday. What do you think? All right, let's start.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Addie. Happy birthday to you.
You know, I wanted to first recognize some of the previous Bo Johnson Spirit Award recipients, and if they're here, if they would just please stand. We have Dr. Jack Marion, Eric Thomas, Samuel R. Lane, Bill Kane, and Wendy Waterman. And we can please join me in giving them a round of applause. And I'm going to turn the time over to Addie.
This year's 2017 recipient of the Bo Johnson Award for Lifetime Achievement is Mr. David Noble.
And to accept this award on behalf of the David Noble and the American Equity family, please welcome Mr. Kirby Wood.
My father was always passionate about the insurance industry. In fact, my brother and I grew up in the industry. We are so proud of his many accomplishments and the legacy he leaves behind. The Bo Johnson Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes courage, spirit, and determination that challenges the status quo. Those qualities certainly describe my father. On behalf of Dave Noble's family, thank you for this prestigious honor.
That was Cindy Noble, that's Dave's daughter. She's in the business and has been in the business with American Equity. She actually ran the National Guard program that American Equity had, providing life insurance to the National Guard out of Pell City. And her brother also works with an American Equity company too. But I got to know Bo, and he was truly unique. Very unique. But him and Mr. Noble had a lot of the same values and a lot of the same traits. I've always talked about how Mr. Bill Kane and Mr. David Noble had many of the same values and business philosophies. And so on behalf of Ron Grensteiner, president of American Equity, on behalf of the Noble family, and on behalf of the American Equity family, it's my honor to be up here to accept this award today. I want to share just a couple of insights about Mr. Noble. Many of you probably know of him. Many of you might have met him and dealt with him. He was truly a unique individual. He was a man of extreme character. He always said, if we've got a deal, looking you in the eye and shaking your hands, worth a lot more than any contracts any attorneys can draw up. That's the way he did business. He built a company back in the early 90s that did $1 billion in fixed annuities. This was before there was fixed indexed annuities. $1 billion in the early 90s. And somebody came to him to sell that company, and he had to take that to his board of directors and his senior management team. So they sold the company. Dave went to work for that company during the transition. He didn't like the way they ran the company. Within 6 months, he retired. He took Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. At the age of 63, he sat down and he decided he was going to build an insurance company. There was already 3,000 insurance companies out there. We didn't need another insurance company. But Mr. Noble had a vision. And his vision was these products are so great that they provide so much security. He had such a passion. So he put up all his net worth, and he borrowed millions on top of it at the age of 63. Think about it. How many people will do that? And he started American Equity from scratch. He had two teammates with him that moved with him right at the beginning, and he was licensed in one state. He had no agents. He had no marketing organizations. He didn't have a rating. All the odds were against this guy. But he knew he had a plan, that he was going to be successful. And today, we're a $50 billion company. We have over 500 employees that are owners through an ESOP program that he set up. We have 500,000 policyholders. We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange in 2003. And the thing that he was most proud of is he did it the old-fashioned way. He did it one advisor, one marketing organization at a time. He didn't buy any other company. He didn't buy any other assets. That's how you're seeing the growth today. He did it the old-fashioned way, one at a time. He was known as a visionary and an industry advocate. Without Dave Noble, I don't know, we would have defeated 151A. He led the fight, he funded the fight, and the Harkin Amendment is because of Dave Noble and the relationships he had. Because Harkin just happens to be a senator from Iowa, and Dave Noble just happens to be very connected. There's a lot of other people involved in the fight, and it took an army. But Noble was the impetus, and he was the driver in that. He didn't settle for anything. He's got a legacy for doing the right thing. He's very generous. He set up in 2015 the David J. Noble American Equity Center at Drake University, which is very focused towards actuarial students and insurance majors that they've had set up. He endowed the David J. Noble Commitment to Excellence Scholarship Fund. So he gives back to the community. He's extremely patriotic. You ever been to one of our meetings? First thing we do is we say the Pledge of Allegiance. The last thing we do is recognize the veterans and play God Bless America. Every meeting we do that. Dave Noble had a committed to people first approach with his distribution partners, with the policyholders, and with the employees of American Equity. Mr. Noble worked full-time up until 2016. You know, he used to joke, he came in one day and he said, hey kids, I'm gonna start taking Fridays off. But he was our executive chairman up until he retired in 2016. He remained chairman of the board up until his passing in April of this year. Mr. Noble treated his employees like family. We have a very unique culture. Mr. Noble's favorite saying was, a successful business is not a building, it's not a charter, it's the people. So on behalf of Mr. Noble, on behalf of his family, on behalf of the American Equity family, I'd like to thank NAFA members, the NAFA board of directors, the Johnson family, the Kane family, Addie, for bestowing this prestigious award, the Bo Johnson Spirit Award for Lifetime Achievement, to honor the life and work of David J. Noble. Thank you.